that is on that issue. Now, you see, the tribunal, I just hope that they can do one thing and do one thing only. Listen to those prayers, those first three prayers. The 25% prayers, the criminal forfeiture prayers of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that convicted him as a criminal, right? The 25%, and then, of course, the double nomination. These three prayers do not need anybody to come and appear to the court as witnesses, for goodness sakes. The appeal court must rise up and give justice. They have to rise up and give justice. These things do not need any other thing. So many legal minds have come out to tell us that if actually the courts are serious, they can actually pronounce judgment on these cases before 12 noon. Because there are issues that are bordering on the Constitution. You just look at the Constitution and make inferences from the Constitution. So it is very clear. I do not want a situation whereby, court continues to give so many adjournments over, frivolities. They just keep adjourning cases. Let's have these judicial fireworks start from tomorrow. Well, anyway, from today, because we're already dawning into the D-Day. So yes, that is that on that one. Then again, of course, I applaud the US travel ban. You see, my brothers and sisters, this is the only way that we force most of these criminal elements either to leave politics or to do the right thing while they are serving the people of Nigeria. If they realize that they don't have any safe haven anymore, you cannot go to the US with our stolen funds and our resources. You cannot go to the UK with our stolen funds and resources. You can't go to Europe. My brothers and sisters, they will think inwardly, either mend their ways or desist from stealing public funds. So I do not actually support those who say that this travel ban does not make any impact. It does. In fact, more importantly, it gives more credence to other nations of Europe. UK, Rishi Sunak must stand up and tell us why, whether he wants Nigeria's democracy to deepen by forcing our politicians to entrench the rule of law, or whether he is supporting this corruption that is going on in Nigeria. UK cannot be a tax haven. So Rishi Sunak, please. Anyway, stop them from coming to the UK, for goodness sakes. They are coming there and buying houses with our money. Petitioner. Thank you very much. I yield the mic.
Thank you very much, my brother. I just watch Peter B video for this scene. Peter B go call your own show. You go turn star boy. Birthday boy will call your show. They go leave you the star picture. You have to tell them, say, no, it's not my birthday. It stay in the center. Ha! Kai! Now see, Tinubu just return his mandate. Return his mandate. Because you could see us for your dream.
He must return it, my brother. He must return it.
It's not possible. You can't steal this. You cannot steal love. You cannot steal love. If Nigeria love you, Nigeria love you. We don't have to pretend. We don't have to pretend. Nigerians love celebration. If you say Tinubu win this election, my small majority say you go see and you feel it in the pulse of the country. No, Tinubu has to return his mandate. Kai. Country, strictly people's orientated, it's the people's platform. Please, guys, we are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Telegram, and yes, our website is also up there. TikTok also for the Gen Zs. Please Go on and subscribe. We need everybody here to go and subscribe, please. Everybody should go and subscribe on our YouTube. Please, let's get to 1,000 today. We have over 900 people here, and we have, let me see how many people we have as subscribers. We have, let me check. We have 786. No, now, guys, we have over 900 people here. That means we have people here, like over 500 of you have not subscribed, because this number was like this by yesterday. So please, guys, everybody on the platform, please subscribe to us on our channels, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, everywhere. Help us grow this platform we're building. Thank you so much, and God bless you as you do it. And if you don't do it, your phone will fall down and break. That's what it be. Your phone will break, eh? If you don't subscribe, you hear me, after this, my beg, but your phone, you will buy a new phone. Next week, you go and price new phone. You will price new phone next week. You will buy it. Yes. If you like, don't go. You see the number will increase now. The number will increase now. Nigerians. Kai! My God. Follow Parent Facts. Don't follow people. I say follow. Don't follow. If you don't follow this man, please don't follow. Follow Parent Facts. It's up on the Jumbo Tree, please. I don't say it's me you follow. Please, if you follow me, your phone will not break. Oh. If you don't follow Parent Facts, if you don't follow me, your phone will not break. If you don't follow my brothers, you're not about your boy. See Parent Facts up there. If you don't follow Parent Facts, Mabasi. If you don't know it's Mabasi, call somebody acquired bomb. Call Peter Obi wife and ask her, tell you, what is Mabasi?
I want to one thing. They say Wawulence go select name when Igbo man they had them to Palalesa.
Anambra people the best for me. Anambra people say parallelogram, parallel space. I say I don't know, so Parallel Facts. And please subscribe to Parallel Facts, please. If not, you buy new phone next week. You buy new phone. You choose one, no. Thank you. Okay, let's take a lady right now. Spotlight. If you're ready, okay, let me I'll allow you. Spotlight, but Bolale has spoken. So let me take it. I've not said anything today. Please, if your English is not frequent, if your English, your English is not in tune with modern AI English, please use your earpiece. But if your English, you want to learn more English, please use normal phone. Let me bring in my English sister, Rita English 1, 2, 3, 4.
Where you see that?
Hi,
Hi.
greetings everybody. Don't we have an emoji that shows that you are angry? Say you dey squeeze your face for Twitter. I want to show this your Oh my God, Sadam, why are you doing this? Greetings, everybody. Sadam, I greet you. Otumba, I greet you. Joe Biden, Jimmy Darling. In fact, Mambolale is here. Spotlight. I really would want to call everybody. Oh my God, well-meaning Nigeria. I want to call everybody, okay? Please forgive me. Greetings to you, all my special people. Thank you. Okay, you said 3 minutes. I don't know if I'll be able to finish what I have here in 3 minutes, so but I'll try.
And later, you dey always come late. Now why?
I don't know. You can church late.
Uncle, you will not understand. You not go understand. But more just leave her for a day like that. Make it for the loss. You forget the fact that Adia Nigeria today is where she is, majorly because of the handwork of UK. You know, they are the main people propagating the genocide that is going on, especially in the Middle Belt for decades now, as herders farmers clashes, where children were burnt. And I asked, who did these children clash with to warrant being burnt alive in that way? And again, these guys that are so-called foreign world power or something, they flourish either by causing chaos in Africa or encouraging the already existing ones. And in case say una don't forget to, Wike said during the campaign period that if elected president, Boko Haram will run as soon as they hear his name. I will not go further on that. Let those who understand what I'm trying to say and where I'm trying to go. This is our day nation we're talking about here. According to Dele Farotimi, I don't want to live in your country. I don't want to come on exile. I only want to come and rest. And after resting, I come back gingerly to my country like every sane country or citizens in other countries. So my good people on this space, I will say I have listened to great submissions on the BBC article. And to be very honest, what came to my mind at first when I saw that article earlier was, why Rivers? Because Premium Times already did a great job. And some of us saw a video where Wike went to the market to talk to the people under the rain. The man was embarrassed out of that place. Some of us might have seen the video. I don't think it's all of us here. But for you that saw that video, that was loud enough. And then to make it worse, an APC chieftain on national TV said, we have never won Rivers before. Okay? We have never won Rivers before. Looking at the whole scenario, I then realized that Wike is now a man that's no longer wanted by anybody because he's a man that follows whatever he believes in to logical conclusion. For those of us that knows him very well, he doesn't care who gets hurt, in as much that is what he believes in. He follows it to logical conclusion. Plus again, Wike is a very ambitious man with indeed great intellect too. So with this little that I have realized about Wike, is a man that when he wants anything, he does everything to make sure he gets it. And of course, the UK likes it when we have dummies. Dummies just there, people who are ready to listen to them, push and start kind of people. And then with all the evidences that is flying up and down Atedo Peter's side, with all the revelation and everything, the man talked about Bauchi State, where only 3 polling units gave PO over 1,200 votes. Yet, INEC gave LP 187 votes, if I'm not mistaken. So if you are here telling me that someone somewhere does not want somebody to fall or be the foreman for all the shenanigans that is going on, why didn't BBC go investigate Bauchi in other states or maybe another state apart from the one we already know? Yes, we're giving them kudos. They made us understand, yeah, there is somebody that we didn't see before and all that and all that. Why didn't they go to the ones we've not seen? So that indeed we will know that yes, these guys are not after anybody. And then at the end of their article or some or what, they wrote Rivers alone is not enough to cancel the election or whatever. If you know Rivers alone is not enough, why didn't you go do something else that someone else has not done? This is my opinion. I feel someone somewhere wants somebody to take responsibility for what is going on. Saddam, I see your hand. For what is going on. Okay? So if you really you want to do a great job for us and you want everybody to applaud you, you should have leave this one, or even when you do this, put in that statement that it is not enough to cancel the election. For me, I have a huge problem with that. And that's why I cannot applaud them for this. Indeed, I applaud them when they did the terrorist in Zamfara or something. But on this one, no, I don't. So this is my opinion. I've heard other persons say, applauding them, applauding them. Yes, we have a bigger issue, but when you want to do something and let the people know that indeed you are doing something. Not when you're doing something and I know you're doing this for what you're doing this for, and you want me to appreciate you, I won't do that. Thank you very much. I'll yield the mic here because I see I've exhausted my 3 minutes long ago. Thank you very much. I yield.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you. I just wanted to see boys out to listen to what we were saying earlier on, and I said, especially we Christians, it is the same thing because the lady came up here and made a statement. She said, "We have been praying since that foreign media come into this conversation. Foreign media come into this conversation, and foreign media came, and God have answered that prayer. We now want them to come in the way we want." It's just like Israelite was saying, give us food, give us food. God gave them manna. They say,
Saddam,
wait
please.
now,
Saddam.
wait. Let me know when I want to cook this one. Allow me to cook this food, please. Allow me to finish your not disrupt it. I want to take this one, take back home and think about it, ponder on it. Israelites were in the desert saying, give us food, give us food, give us food. They're expecting jollof rice. God now gave them manna and quail. And they now came out and say, which kind of food is this? Which kind of food is this? Is there that is just the human nature. We always want it the way we want it cooked. You don't see that food they are giving you is going to serve the purpose that you should use it to serve, which is to belleful your belly. But we want it the way we want it to be. And as long as that is the problem, if that statement was false, I would have said it's false. But the statement was completely accurate. But it was not served the way we wanted it to be served. Perfect. Focus on the statement, amplify it, and leave the rest. Simple. Thank you. Let me
Saddam,
move.
my problem, Saddam, wait, I'm so sorry. You know I don't do this,
No,
okay?
let me allow you. Let me give
You know I
one.
don't do this. Thank
No, go
you.
on, go on.
Brooke, why will you say it is not enough? You knew it
No,
is not
but is
enough.
I'm coming,
So
sir.
why
I'm coming.
did
Let me ask you a question now. But is it enough to the result from Rivers? Is that enough to change the result announced?
that's the more reason they should have moved on to the nest, my brother.
No,
That's
they just
enough
gave you
reason.
no now
They
wait
should
now.
have moved
I
on. They should
focus
have
on the
moved
state.
on. So
My
then they should have moved on to the next. The court hearing is
and
on
who
Wednesday.
told you that they are not probably investigating other states?
See, see,
Not
I
see, I'm
won't
not saying
know.
anything. I'm
I
asking you now. I'm
won't
asking you now.
know.
You now, I'm
I
asking you now.
won't,
Who
I
told you
won't
that they are not?
know.
If they
I
okay,
want to know. Listen,
you
I
don't
want
know.
to
As you
know.
did not know
But
that
the
they will
fact
open this one
is,
self
but
today.
the fact, Saddam, wait now. But the fact is, we don't already know this already. Even on the IRF self, we don't see the results
My
of this
sister,
if we don't get
you
them.
that
So
are
Salam,
why
not
let me
into
did
all
ask,
they
this.
let me
do?
ask her. Let me ask her this question.
Let me ask her
No,
before you
no,
ask
wait.
please.
No, Salam,
Let me ask her one question. My
because someone
sister,
may
my
be
sister now. Do you not any Nigerian media in the world? Is there any Nigerian media that have the coverage that BBC have?
exactly. I wanted to ask: are the same premium time reader the same BBC readers? Is it the
Please
same?
answer me, please. Answer that question, please.
My brother, They may not have done it.
Answer this question.
Madam, can I, Madam, can I
Can
jump
people
back? Can
in
I
can
come
people in
in?
UK
That
do people in
says,
UK read premium times?
whatever you find yourself doing, do it well. Do it
Wait,
well.
well, based on
Now
which
these
standard?
guys,
People have to understand that
Rita, wait.
BBC is not INEC. BBC is not
I
INEC.
feel
BBC is not
BBC
taking
don't owe
our
you
side.
anything. They don't owe
They
you
are not
anything.
supposed to take our side. They are not
Does
supposed to take.
BBC owe you anything?
They are
I
not
know
supposed
they
to
don't
take.
Madam,
owe
can
us
I take
anything.
my own?
That's the
My sister,
reason.
does BBC
That's
owe you
the
anything? Do they owe you any
reason
politics?
why they should have done it the right way or keep mute. They should have done it the
So
right way
for this,
or keep
for
mute.
BBC
Because
to,
someone else
I'm
has
coming,
done
I'm
it
coming,
already.
I'm coming. For BBC to tell the whole world that your elections were rigged a day to your tribunal, it's not good for you.
Uncle, aren't the
Madam,
word aware already?
Which world?
Aren't the word aware already?
Which world? Which world?
Read Anthony Blinken's letter. If the word was not aware, if the word was not aware that the election was rigged,
Madam,
why would Anthony Blinken put out the tweet he put out just which day talking about the visa ban? I just saw on the Jumbo Throne some minutes ago, CNN has carried that. The word is already aware. The word is already aware. Even the blind knows that it was rigged. So don't come and tell
My
us
sister,
what we
this
already
is where
know.
Nigeria,
Tell
this
us
is where
something
Nigeria,
different.
this is Nigeria's entitlement mentality, and this is what
This is not about
no,
Nigerian
yeah, let me
mentality,
explain.
my
Let me
brother.
explain. It is,
Otumba,
it
The
is,
Otumba,
only new thing, the only
it
new
is, it
thing in
is.
the whole article is that strange person. It's that strange person. But it would have been more
honestly
effective if they
speaking,
had moved. Wait,
my
wait,
sister,
wait, wait,
my
wait.
sister is it's fine, it's fine. Let's just
Anyway,
move on.
you know, each time
Let's
I
move on this
talk,
conversation.
I
Let's
just
move on.
run away
I
from
want
the
to end.
speaker
I want
space, okay? But I just stay there because I really, anyway.
no, you're. I don't. You see what I will never do in this spaces when we're having these conversations. Everybody is right in their own way. I just say I just did laugh. I'm just laughing at people's views. So I'm not going to come and tell your own view is wrong or my own view is right or this. I started my view. I started thinking. I started this submission. If you guys listen to this piece on your side, on this side, but I've opened my eyes to see from the bigger angle also. So I'm seeing both sides. I've seen Otumba's side. I've seen our side where I was standing, where you're standing now. And I'm not saying BBC did me. If we are not just so as human beings, nature of human being that we are not satisfied as human beings, BBC did us a whole lot of good.
Yes, so brother. Then my
As me, I accept the good they did because I gotta check my tweet. I made a tweet about it this morning. People responded to it, and I responded and I say they supposed to talk other places too. But I'm not asking on what right are you paying them for investigation?
My brother, we are not paying them. Okay? Don't come and tell us what we already know.
It is
We
not you. They are
already
not telling
know
You've
you.
the
They
not
did not
answered the
truth.
tell you.
We
question.
Did
The
they
already
write
thing
dear?
know.
I'm coming. Did they write dear
the
Sister Rita?
audience.
Wait,
They
now
should have
wait.
moved to the next
Rita, please
Wait,
answer
my
the
stage.
sister,
question.
wait.
Rita,
That would have
I have
helped
one
us
question for you.
more.
Rita, you're not answering my question. The audience BBC gets to, is it the same audience premium time gets to? I want to get that clear. If you establish that fact, then you understand that whoever or whatever audience they are writing for, which some people have also said here that their audience is not Nigeria. And you keep saying the word no. The word does not know. We
Oh,
obedience
great.
know.
Great,
The word
Otumba.
does
Let me
not
let
know.
me answer your question.
Nigeria doesn't dominate the world. Everybody doesn't wake
Let,
up and
let
say
me
I'm
answer.
Nigeria.
Let me answer your question. Are you aware? Are you aware that Chatham House has been broadcasting that Yakub Mahmood did not follow his own guidelines
How many people listen to
for
Chatham
some
House?
time now? I'm coming. Are you aware?
Yes. How many people?
What
I'm asking
about
myself. How many
what about
followers does Chatham House have?
excuse me?
Chatham House is a
What
media
about,
organization.
excuse me now? What about the tweet Anthony Blinken put out that CNN has amplified? Are
When
you trying to tell me? Are you trying to tell me that CNN don't have views like BBC does? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
you see audience. You see when they say audience, and when they say audience, people don't understand this. Audience matters a lot. The BBC audience are totally different from the CNN audience. Are you aware?
Beautiful,
Are you
Saddam.
no?
I
Are you aware? Are
agree
you
with
aware of what I
you.
just told you now?
We're talking about audience here,
And
and what
I'm
I'm
telling you, wait
saying is,
now, I'm coming. And I'm telling you right now that BBC's audience, the audience BBC have taken this your news to now. Now, this news that you're talking of right now. There are some people in some countries right now that they have been saying that have been all the news that have been hearing that Tinubu is the next president.
It is possible. It is possible. Every media outlet, every individual, every person that does this or that have their own targeted audience. They have their own audience that listens to them. Okay? But what I'm seeing here right now, yes, BBC have an audience, CNN have an audience, Anthony Blinken on his own part has is having an audience. In the Nigerian election, the obedience has taken Nigeria to a level that Nigeria has, as in to the views of the view of the world in a way that it has never been before. So when you're talking about publicity to a very large extent, this obedient movement has given it to Nigeria.
Okay, my
There are
sister,
people that
my sister is fine. It's fine. It's fine. We will not
anyway, it's
agree. We'll agree
fine.
to
It's
disagree. Let's take
fine.
other
It's fine.
speakers.
Okay.
Let's take
Yes,
other
it's fine.
speakers. It's
We
fine.
all have
Right.
our
We
views.
all
This is
agree to
mine.
disagree, and
Okay.
your views are
Thank
perfect.
you.
Your views are perfect. Nobody's going to. I'm not. As I tell you, we always have this argument back and forth for you to understand our side. I understand your side. Hopefully, when we all go back home and think about it, we might say, okay, I see more points what you're saying. You see more points what I'm saying, and life goes.
But
Tomorrow
I
will
mean,
come
my
back.
own is that CNN did not have not talk, they've not talked about the regularities of the election at
CNN,
all.
CNN has
At
zero.
all. Those is, even if when they peak Obiakpo local government and write on it, I'll be happy.
I swear.
Just
I
before
swear.
local government.
We need every press possible. Every press we get, we thank God. We just thank God for him. Thank you, my sister. All right, let's move on real quick. I beg, guys. I beg you, God. I don't want to have this back and forth with another person, please. Anybody else say just talk. I'll just say thank you and move on. I just thought we can wrap up this space, please. So I'll go fit sleep. I'll get caught tomorrow morning, so I can wake up and do other things. All right, guys. Let's move on real quick. Smew, you've been here for long, so I think Jama and you coming next, please. Well, let's take Smew, please 3 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sadan. Otumba, thank you, and I really can't see, but is it Joe? Joe, thank you very much. Thank you guys for hosting the space. I'm gonna touch on the US and then yeah, I think I'll just touch on those two because we haven't got much time. But so firstly, the travel ban is just ideal, and for a lot of people that are saying, oh, that's not enough, they should have added asset freezes and sanctions and that. Travel bans are a prelude to sanctions. The first thing they start with is travel bans, and then if it gets worse, they add sanctions. So that will come if the rascality continues. I think eyes are on these guys, and believe you me, I don't think people want to rub shoulders with Tinubu. Statesmen, I don't think they want to rub shoulders openly, at least with Tinubu. So just know that it's not only Nigerians that are against what's happening. And then I'll touch on the BBC. BBC did us a very huge solid. I'm not even trying to. I know that we have our suspicions, about the West and stuff like that. I do have my suspicions as well. But when it comes to this particular issue, there's one thing we need to understand. If you live in the West, you'll realize that the ballot box, some of them take the vote. The vote is more important to them than their own kids. It is the most sacred thing in democracy, your right to choose your leader. It is very important. In fact, it's kind of a measure of how civilized the society is. If you understand your right to choose your leader, there are two things in England that measures, that how civilized the society is. One, your ability to understand the queue. The queue, that is when you wait your turn. If you come first, you're in front. They hate queue jumping here. And then the second thing is the ballot. Your understanding of how sacred the voting is. Those two things are extremely important in Western democracies. And our democracy is kind of modeled after theirs. We haven't had a chance to kind of create our own type of democracy. So yeah, BBC have done us a super solid. Basically, what they've done is, in those days, if you had a radio but it wasn't loud, you needed to get some kind of amplifier. If you had a big party for more people to hear it, yeah, you needed to hook it up to an amplifier. That's what BBC have done. They've just amplified it. Now the Prime Minister of Malaysia knows what happened in River State in detail. Before they would have just heard, oh, there's a dispute and there's courts. This happens in every other country. There's disputes, there's courts. I mean, even in the US, they disputed elections. But if they had the kind of elections you had in Nigeria, in the US, trust me, there will be civil war in the US by now. Elections, like, how do you understand? To them, the elections is like if we rights, if we don't fight for it, then amplified. Now the Australian Prime Minister, this president, that president, all these people, they read these BBC articles. Now they know in detail. Before they would have just heard, okay, he's a disputer, there was rigging, whatever. But now they know in detail what happened in one state. These people are not stupid. Of course, they know that the ruling party, they did this in one state, they'll do it everywhere. So we have to give them their flowers. But it's now that what they've done is also a nudge. You also have to look at the timing. They didn't release it before the first day LP went to court, where it was adjourned. They didn't release it before that. They waited to see because they don't want to look like they're interfering. And it is not up to them. They're not under any obligations to even write any article at all. But they did. So we actually have to appreciate that. They've amplified our case 1,000-fold. Now everybody knows in detail. And lastly, it actually works against Rishi Sunak's government. And one thing people don't understand, there's this narrative where people say, oh, BBC is British propaganda. Actually, if you know, the BBC is not sponsored by by the British state. It's sponsored by the British people through license fee. You pay your TV license, and that's what funds the BBC. If we don't pay TV license, there will be no BBC. And that's why you find in a lot of cases the BBC and the Conservative government, they're actually enemies. They're enemies. They don't like each other. So it also might be a trap for Rishi Sunak, who is congratulating Tinubu. There are a lot of political undertones, and that article is a flipping earthquake. But we don't know it. We have to look at the local and international politics and then connect the dots. Then you'll see why that article is very important. But the onus is now for us, obedience, to run with it, to take that article, that template. We are the ones that are Nigerians. So therefore, we can look at other states and use that same template to release our own. Maybe we now have.
Smew, I honestly want to hear you continue, but please, I'm begging everybody 3 minutes because we have to wrap up.
Yeah, sorry. I think
and
I've
you're
ended
making a whole
there
lot
anyway.
of sense. Honestly.
I've ended there.
Let me ask Smee a quick question. Smee, I have a question. Please, who broke the Boris Johnson story that eventually got him out?
What do you mean, I think Boris was an internal issue. I think that was a Sky News. I think they broke that. I don't think it was BBC. Perhaps it might have been them because they too were warring with Boris. But I think the Conservative Party had an internal sort of they have two factions. You had the Brexiteers, and then you had those who were kind of like not really Brexiteers, but they were sort of less enthusiastic about Brexit, and the two factions fell out because um, of leadership. There was leadership issue. Boris was partying during the pandemic when we're all dying and locked at home, so that caused a lot of friction. And I think it was Sky News that broke it.
Okay, thank you very much, Smil. Thank you. I think Otuma, actually, you're saying three states. Two states, Rivers State and Lagos State flipped with accurate with these numbers out. P2B has won the elections. Rivers State minus 200,000, Lagos State Tinubu minus 800k. That's 1 million now. So Peter Obi is 1 million up, Tinubu is 800k less. That's 800,000. So you see, we don't flip them. They're just two states. They're not go to Benue now and that'll be landslide or bring in Plateau votes. God have mercy. Yakubu must go to jail. Please, let's take 3 minutes. Guys, please, when I say 3 minutes, I beg 3 minutes, please. Please. Jamine. No vex.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go on, sir.
Okay, I'm so glad to be back after a long while. So I'll just speak to three things. Uh, on the US ban, no, rather on the BBC expose, right? I'm not going to really dwell on that, but I just want to also take a clue from what they have done for us, and that's where I believe the parallel facts news is supposed to fill in that, not really filling that lacuna, but to actually be the spotlight for us to own our story and own our narrative and own um, um, bringing out and dishing out the facts the way they are. So where I see where a lot of people are talking about all their gaps, I think that's why we have the parallel facts, and that's why we need to give parallel facts all the support that they need. Because if we're going to run investigation into all the states in Nigeria, that's going to take a lot of money. That's going to take a lot of resources. Are we ready to pay the price? Are we ready to, if ask for donations right now, people are going to go and visit those places, interview people, and that's where we need to own that narrative and, as much as possible, support parallel facts. So action point would be, okay, the report is not sufficient. What can we do? Parallel facts is there. Can parallel facts be empowered to go to those states, interview people? People are bringing action points. Can we go and find out, okay, if we work in those people who announce the result are actually real or fake? There's also action points we can take out and gas our deficiencies we can bring out and blow up. But that's going to take resources and that's going to take a lot of things from us. You can't, just like Dele Fawulence spoke, you don't expect these people to come and do the job for you. They may have done, yeah, they've done a little bit. Take it, own it, and support. Saddam has been begging for likes for how many hours and how many days of this space. People cannot just even people cannot even like it. But these things will take money. Remember that the BBC guy said they went to go and look for the same Dixon. They went and didn't see the guy and they gave up. So please, we are doing great, but let's take an action point and let's now own the narrative and get parallel back to that point where even BBC will be drawing up their stories from parallel facts because they know that we have the resources, we have everybody on ground, and we are all spread across every part of this country, everywhere in this country, we have obedience. So can you use those resources to push this narrative? Then the next one I'm going to talk about, a lot of people do not know what's happening with the tribunal, and particularly those in rural areas who we spoke to, even those in some cities where this conversation is really happening on this space. I would employ and I would just ask and I'll plead. Can we have maybe just voiceovers or summaries of these things in a video or something? Not in a video, maybe just a voiceover of something you can just put or a voice note you can play and post to the in our WhatsApp stories and all that, so that those people who don't understand the facts, don't know what's happening, they can actually grab this message. So I will not just in quote an echo chamber on Twitter that we can speak and talk to ourselves. But a lot of people who were energized during the campaigns, who depend on us through the traditional media or traditional means of seeing what is happening, can be energized and know what is happening. So our employee who can do that. Remy spoke that she could do this, but I don't know if she have done it. But I think we can also push that on from here. Then the next thing, I want to report somebody, guys. I'm biased on this. Is Ireti Kikimbe. I'm going to report her because one, I've never seen her tweet about um, the court case. I've never seen her gone there. I've never seen anything she has done. And what is making me angry more is that we have a constitutional requirement about FCT that is very key in this argument. That is 25% in FCT. So you do know that if the judgment rules against FCT, that means what they are saying that people in FCT do not matter. And you're a senator that is representing the citizens of FCT. And the critical question on do Tinubu meet the requirements without FCT? And this lady is just keeping quiet. She's not tweeting, she's not saying anything. Even if she's not sick, she has a media, even if she's sick or something, she has a media angle. She's just keeping quiet. Guys, let's watch that woman know. I'm not happy. We are talking about Peter Obi will come back from Nice. He's going to London and he will come back to Nigeria for that court case. And this lady is not saying anything. That's just my submission, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Our eyes are on her. We're watching. Are watching it. I just try to make sure that we don't overreact to issues. But what you're saying is right. I think our eyes are on her. She knows that we're watching her. Definitely, she knows. And secondly, thank you for that thing you said. Nigerians will come up here. We have come out here and we have said this, say that, say this. BBC for BBC this, BBC that. And I've stayed there since morning. I've been saying follow parallel facts, follow parallel facts, follow parallel facts. God bless you for that angle, my brother. We can't complain. All you do now is wahala. You see, thank you. Let's move on real quick. Let me bring a lady now. All the ladies have spoken. So we have
Madam,
to.
you forgotten me.
You don't speak before now. I say, okay, use 1 minute.
Just 1 minute. Okay,
Yes,
I'll try to keep the thing, but I can't promise. Just to correct something that we've been saying about this BBC. The Dixon Ariaga man is not the returning officer or the rec for the entire River State. He's just for Oyibo local government, not even for the entire. So he only reported for Oyibo. And that's also one of the things that I'm curious about. So the article started off with River State, and then it now tapered out into only Oyibo. He didn't mention Obiakpo. I wonder why he didn't mention Obiakpo.
Let me tell you why. You want to know why?
Okay, I want to.
Investigative journalism is very expensive. That is why.
No,
That is why. I'm telling you, that is why. I'm telling you now that is
why.
No,
I get that.
Wait now. Okay. Spotlight. Please, let me give you a team now. Sponsor this team. Let them go and give you the original result. Will you sponsor it? Oh yeah, you don't see how.
No. See.
That is. Let me tell you the truth. It is a fact about this.
You're trying to.
It's me being truthful here now. I'm just being truthful.
No. I haven't said I won't sponsor it, but
you cannot even
I cannot do it in isolation.
The money will drain you. Do you know what it means? That you look at the state like River State and you look at River State and say, where are the two places that if we do? There's something called sampling. I want to draw.
You don't get my point. You don't get my point. At the end of the day, they made a conclusion. They gave a conclusion. They mentioned what differences there are. They did not. Now, the two major places in River State that everything has been originating from is Obiakpo and Oyibo. See, the point is, why are we even having this conversation? It's just because people are asking questions or people are actually supplying additional information. I'm not sure. I haven't seen many people that actually wrote about it, but I'm speaking from my own angle. My point is that there are still more stories to uncover, and that was my own feedback, and that's my stance. And I also queried the fact that this conclusion is given without some steps taken, behind. Now, I just explained something that they mentioned what happened in Rivers State as a general, they made a generalization. Then they only now they now said they want to explain the mystery behind all these figures. Now, if you're not watchful, like I said, this piece is not for us. It's for people that are not even so aware of Nigeria or the dynamics in Nigeria. They now explained it. Now, the only explanation they gave is that they put all this issue on one man. They put all the responsibility of what happened in Rivers State. That is what that article is portraying to people on one man. And even here, we have missed it because Dixon is not the returning officer for Rivers State. He was only the returning officer for Oyibo. And then what was the responsibility or what was the issue? It became like a human error kind of thing. So he misread. Now, why would somebody, you have the data, you have the fiscal sheet in front of you, and then somebody comes out and reads some numbers that do not tally with what you have, and then INEC adopts it. And that's what so if we just look at the article, and then we're just saying, oh, BBC did an exceptional job, I agree that they did a good job. I applaud them for putting this because it's a stepping stone for more discoveries. But that does not mean that people cannot, poke the story, interrogate this fact, and ask more questions. In risk analysis, you don't just take everything. You begin to ask yourself, what if? And for me as a Nigerian, I'm asking myself, why is Festus Keyamo so jubilant about this news? Why? Immediately that thing came out.
My point of correction, they actually talked about Obiakpo also.
So what happened? No, they did not give a reason for what happened in Obiakpo.
Yeah, but they said they went off IRF. Okay, wait. Okay,
no.
This is where I'm confused. I'm reading the story. They went off IRF. One. They said on TV, they saw that this is what this guy signed. But when on TV, when he was to call the number he called did not match what was signed on the sheet. So they said they reached out to him to ask him why. Why is there a discrepancy between what the sheet you have in front of you that was signed and what you read out on TV?
Exactly. That was for Oyibo. That is for Oyibo.
Yeah,
that is for Oyibo local government. I am saying that article, that article spent more than half of it to talk about Dixon as the fall guy, as the man that basically upturned the results.
No, they didn't tie him to the entire Rivers. There was nowhere they said he was responsible for the entire Rivers State election.
No, they didn't. They don't have to. That's my point. Otumba, we do not have to agree, but that's my point.
I get it now.
That's my point. That's my point. My point is for the audience that are not Nigerians, that do not know the dynamics in Nigeria. The story that was painted.
The audience, I would hope the audience understand comprehension and can read that they said based on one local government there that this is what they found and they followed that local government story. And
that is why I, as a Nigerian, I am asking further questions. That the fact that they decided to portray it that way is insufficient, and that's my own opinion. I don't even know why we are defending all of this. I believe that if you're going to put an investigative piece like that, you have to cover at least the size that you have, you've decided to cover. You have to let your audience know that this is, this is what happened here. But you can't just say, oh, Rivers State, this is what happened in Rivers State, and then let's now uncover the mysteries behind the numbers, and then you now go on to pick your words and then mention Ron Dixon. See, like I said, we have to, either you want to connect the dots or we don't want to. But people are paid to ask these questions because the APC are happy about it. And that's the narrative they've been saying. Oh, it's not enough to upturn the result. We don't know what the courts will determine for the other areas. And that's why I really love what Joe Obedient said. Part of what he said about we taking the pains to now uncover more.
I'm not going to take whatever Keyamo is excited about. I'll take it with a pinch of salt. Keyamo is not going to be my yardstick of measuring whether the news is.
He's not anybody's yardstick. But he's telling a narrative. He is telling a narrative. Whether we believe it or not.
Let me ask you
damage control. That's damage control is trying to do.
Do you expect Keyamo to come out and say and start crying for you on Twitter?
Like I said, Keyamo has been consistent about this issue of one result cannot upturn is not significant enough. He has been consistent about it from ever since the election result. In fact, even before the election result was finally announced.
I will argue that if it was Plateau they wrote about, it's the same conversation we'll be having. we will say, why did they talk about Rivers?
I beg, let's
No,
move past this, please.
no.
I beg, please, my sister. Thank you.
Okay,
I
no,
think,
no. So just to tell you guys, okay. So my final
hey,
submission
my sister, I beg, you
is
don't I
that
beg. I
the
beg,
Chatham
please.
House is in UK. Why, as they were writing, why didn't they also talk about what Mahmoud promised in Chatham House and what was done, just to give a balanced view?
Who
Thank you.
asking who? Who are you asking?
I'm asking you now.
There's
Who?
several articles on that on BBC. Have you
Okay,
checked? Have you typed
okay,
BBC
okay.
Africa
Yes,
Nigeria and
spotlight.
election?
Wait now,
Do you know how many articles BBC has written on the Nigerian election?
So you gave me job in Chatham House, it's nothing. You employ me in
Good
Chatham
night.
House,
Good
you
night,
don't give me.
Adam.
My sister, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for all you do for the movement. Thank you very much. Thank you for all this question. You know, this question that they ask like this. Thank you. It's important to ask this question. But for some of us,
Remember, we talked about this for iRevel, and you shut me down, and you
some
saw
of
where
us,
it led us. We had this argument, same argument before the election. I
no,
told you guys,
no.
but you did not agree. You said you don't want to. It's just we want to discuss good things that will be, at the end of the day.
All this
Yeah.
all this question how does it help our case? Can we carry it to case to court tomorrow?
It helps your case because you would also explode that angle so that they would know that we're not, because they are just trying to line people up for an eventual outcome,
did
and that's what
INEC
we are going to say no
wait,
to.
my sister, wait, did INEC rig in Port Harcourt?
Yes, of course.
Did I say INEC not rig in Port Harcourt?
No, you didn't.
Did INEC not rig in
My point is
Lagos?
allow multiple views. Do not
Nobody is
muzzle the
stopping. No,
talk.
now you see
Let
what I
people
love here.
express the
What
way they have
the
perceived the
issue is that
article. Don't
the
tell
issue is
them,
that
okay,
my
it's
sister, the
this
issue is that
way.
we're overflogging this thing and other people want to speak. And that's what I'm saying.
Okay, let's drop it.
And
But
when
I think I've just, because you guys have spoken. That's why I just wanted to bring this up. I'm done.
I beg.
Everybody
Nobody's
can have their opinion. Yeah.
Let's everybody have their opinion. If you see me, what I remember this obedient opinion. I will never shut obedient down. You see, I will do calm down and don't come here. But as obedient, talk your own. But let us not drag this and flog it. Let other people speak, because this place we will soon shut it down. Let other people still have a chance to. You know, when you hear another person's opinion and say that, then I'll come and say all what we are saying is badadash. You will say your own is badadash, mine is badadash. You get if it there, you go hear them. Let me bring you another person I've not spoken here before. So, let Olawaski come in, then I'll come to you. Webini Nigeria. Webini Nigeria don't dare since. So, but Olawaski, please, I beg 3 minutes, please. Whatever you say now is right or wrong. If anything say that I don't do it, just 3 minutes, I'll just
Well,
meet you. If you just pass 3 minutes, I'll meet you and go
this one
next,
now
please.
operation. Well, no wahala, sha. Good evening, Saddam. Good evening, Otumba, Joe Obedient, and Jimmy, every other person on the platform. See, bottom line, I beg obedience. Let us learn to just pick. Let's see, even in pieces of advice where your papa they give you, sure you know we collect everything now. Take what you want and leave the rest. Why are we even having these arguments? I think if we continue like this, it means we'll be dampening. See, if only if we know what it takes for BBC to write on anything, no matter how insignificant you think that thing is, what it takes, the amount of resources people push together to be able to move them to write.
Olawaski, you're doubting the power of
Yes,
Abado.
I'm not.
Otuma, please, I beg, no, Otuma, please. Let's everybody do your submission, I beg, please. I beg you, God, my brother, please.
He
That was any
has
place,
he
please.
has
Well, if you,
whatever he has, but you see, we have the numbers and we have the ability to turn anything to our favor, and that's what I've been saying since I saw this thing. I saw people complaining. For me, I don't have that kind of time. I will pick what is important and amplify it such that whatever he wants to do, his own, nobody will hear. Nobody will hear his own. The point is, he wasn't writing to us. They are trying to talk to the international community. They are talking. Somebody was saying, "Oh, all of a sudden, CNN only wrote because BBC wrote." Bless you, and I don't understand how these two people run these things. There is a way the global community runs. So why do you think that Dati was invited to London for that conference? You think all those things, if we really spend time to listen to the things that they were saying at that forum, you understand that these things are not jokes. People are trying to shape the narrative. Let's just pick what is important. And personally, man, this argument, the thing they tire my ear. I beg you now with God's name. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I yield.
thank you, my brother. Thank you. I just want to say your time don't reach safe. Mommy B, 1 minute, 12 seconds. Is it possible?
No, it isn't.
So that is
I need to use the remainder of my time. You know, I didn't use up my time before. So
you
you
use
add that to the 3 minutes. By my
which
estimation, I have like 7 minutes.
mommy, that means the space will crash.
Oh my days. No, I was hearing all the back and forth, and what I really wanted to say is, right, I'll say it's a quick story. Right, so back in the day, right, I joined this recruitment panel, so we were trying to recruit a new employee to our team, right? Put out the advert. I wrote the advert, put it out, got about 60 CVs come in, right? So the chair of the panel said, you do the shortlisting. And I'm like, oh, I'm all excited. So I started shortlisting, right? But I got caught up, right, in trying to correct people's grammar, right? As opposed to looking at the skills they said they had, right? And after 2 days of shortlisting, I only shortlisted 3 people. I went back to the chair and was like, oh, they sent us really poor CVs, blah, 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 and what have you. The woman asked me if the said employee, when we eventually find somebody, if the person is supposed to be there to help me write my thesis, or is it not just a data entry clerk? Basically, I was majoring in a minor, right? So, and that is something that we Nigerians are very good at doing. Let us, the thing is, BBC owes us absolutely nothing. Zero. They owe us absolutely nothing. They themselves would decide on how wide or how thorough the investigation is going to be, whether they want to extend it to other states. They don't owe us, right? We can't dictate to them how we feel they should have written it, right? We can write our own articles, right? And if we have information, amplify it. But us saying they this, they that, or the agenda, or what have you, just give yourselves headaches and we gain nothing from it. Right. So at the end of the day, one thing that APC is good at doing, right? So somebody might write 1,000-word article. 1,000 words is not a lot. And all of it was negative, but there was just one word that was positive. APC will build a whole article based on that one word. Right? And that is something that we need to get good at doing. Take our opportunities. I mean, it's like at the end of the day, think of how big is BBC's audience, right? How many people is this going to reach? Remember when David Hundeyin wrote that article on Tinubu, right? Even after he, people was like, oh, we don't read and all the rest of it. And he even put, okay, so he did one for YouTube, did he not? However, it didn't gain international traction. Uber Facts put out something that was like 1/10. It was simply, a short tweet, and it went viral. And that is what we need to understand, right? They have their audiences. The audiences are not the obedient. Let us be clear about it. They're not in the business to help any of us. No, they're not. And we have to rely on ourselves, which is good. We have parallel facts. If anyone has done any research, has done any deep dive in any state, right? Put it, pass it to parallel facts. We'll write our own articles and then we will share widely. But this back and forth, we just give ourselves headaches because it's the least of our worries. We're in court in the morning and, we need to start making sure that we keep it on the front burner. We keep tweeting about it, talking about it. And even now that River State is established, kind of, let's talk about the other states, right? It's not just Rivers and it's not just Lagos, right? The Middle Belt overwhelmingly voted for Peter Obi, Right. I have not seen articles other than to mention the state, but nobody has put out there a mutilated EC8 or something else, or that can help us push that narrative as well. Nothing in BBC's article is false. And the thing about articles, people can write an article, and the good thing is people can also write corrections to an article. If we feel that they've missed out something, tweet out what they missed to them. Or better still, look for who's the editor for BBC Nigeria or what have you. I don't know. Just write an article and send it to them. That you're correcting a few facts. Add your what evidence you have. Finish. So, but this go back and forth, we did not pay BBC. We don't have money to pay BBC. Right? We know how we roll. We are the ones who push information out. We shape the narrative. Let's take what they wrote, right, and just amplify the bits that we're happy with. Capiche? End of story.
Thank you.
Done.
Thank you very much, mommy. Thank you. On parallel facts after we have investigated it on ourselves, free of charge. Please write it and bring it, please. It's very, very important. Thank you. Oh yeah, let me bring in my brother. When we Nigeria, have the space now, please. 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So I beg.
I won't be long actually. So I was not I was not around in the beginning of the space, so I came in sometime late. I just wanted to, I wasn't going to speak, but I kept seeing generally when you come into space, you could literally tell, if you listen for a while, you can tell what has been the focus, and, like you can tell what the conversation is really about. So first, I'll just say that everybody is right, actually. Everybody that has spoken on this issue is right. So I'll use myself as an. I think most of the time, what a lot of us humans, and I'm not just saying obedience, don't struggle to do is moderation. How to, Apostle Paul said, all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. So it's just that this thing. So, for example, this morning when I woke up, or rather, some time I eventually woke up, the first thing I saw was the parallel fact, retelling the news of that, and I saw that, like, cool, retweet, and I did. Then when I eventually read the story, I was like, cool. Like I said, in a couple of spaces I've been in earlier, well, not really a couple of spaces, 1 million moments, but I said, for the clout and for the attention, this is good, like totally fine. And I agree with everybody that I've said we need to learn how to cherry pick on things that come our way and amplify those we can amplify. But that will not mean I would disagree with people that I disagree with people that say, I also, in fact, as a matter of fact, I haven't and this is me, that as much as possible, for people that hear me speak a lot of the time, I don't go after everything. I try, in fact, I don't try to, but I was concerned to an extent as well, like every other person that has spoken today. And it's good that we clear it. It's good that we point it out. I don't think it's okay that we ignore it. Because I know we have said, for example, that, and we are right, like we have said, for example, that, this story is not for us. I know somebody was saying earlier that, a Turkish president, like somebody from somewhere, one other country will see this, and now, they've been hearing it, but they now see BBC wrote it. But we should also be, I personally, when I first read the story, I felt very uncomfortable why they felt the need at the beginning to state it, like why they felt that need to state it, that it's not sufficient to change the overall national outcome of the election. So I was disturbed, because that's also, I mean, if we don't carefully cherry pick and clarify things, like if you carry it hook, line, sinker, it will also mean we adopt the liabilities that also comes with some of the position that the article seems to take. So that's why it's important for those people that want to pick out the critical points and, you know, make sure that that narrative is clarified. It's very important. So it's not really as if they are being like people that do that are really. The first person I saw do that today was actually David Undenyi. Yeah. So it's not really as if they are really being alarmist or, you know, being too critical. In cases like this, you probably want to be critical, like what Spotlight was saying just now. If you look at the overall tone of the story, in the same vein that we are thinking about that people in other countries might read it, they might also read it in that same vein and see that, oh, okay, this just happened in one place. Well, every election has its own downfalls, or, you know, okay. That means we can even congratulate this guy that they have been saying he won. That means it's just one place now. How many states Nigeria has? Is 36, right? Okay, just one state. So there's the overall body language, but like I said, it's important that we learn how to cherry pick and amplify what needs amplifying. But that overall body language is very important, because you know what I equate this to in my head? I know we've made a reference to Uber Fact a lot on this space. In my head is that, do you imagine if Uber Fact story on Tinubu drug deal was like, oh, the new Nigerian president had forfeited blah, blah, blah in the US. However, he had done this 10 years ago and it may not be able to hold him. Like, added some extra information to make it look like, oh, this is true, but it doesn't really hold water and all that. So it's important that when those kind of narratives are included, we can try to clarify it, why we amplify it. For me, there's no bad publicity. Those that have talked about it, either ways, have talked about it. It was a major topic today. The world have heard it today, that a lot of alteration happened in Rivers State. So I'm not in the class of who they should go and do every other state because they need to satisfy us or something. I really don't think that's their job to do. But it's important that we cherry pick and, you know, try to debunk what we think is essential to be debunked. That's really just my point. I read the mic.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. All right, let me come to Mr. Ikenna. Good evening, sir. Mr. Ikenna, are you there? All right, Kolade, you have this. Good evening.
Good evening, my brother. Otumba, the obedient, all of you. I salute you. Oga Jimmy, Mokinyo. Okay, let me just go straight to the point. For me, I think Auntie Bolanle just gave a very good submission on this BBC report. When I read it too in the morning, look, BBC is not obedient, and BBC is not Agbadorians. BBC is just BBC, and they need to balance things up. So if we expect them to write things in 100% in favor of us, then we ourselves are not balancing things up. We know the facts. They cannot publish based on our own facts that we know. They have to authenticate or ascertain that whatever they are publishing as in quote BBC, they have evidence to back it up, because they are dealing with the sovereignty of a nation. They don't want to be caught meddling in a country's electoral process. So that is why, after doing their own investigation, they can confirm and they can say boldly that this state or this river state or this local government, look, this person won contrary to what INEC said. And that is a very huge one. So if it happens in River State, how many more places could such atrocity might have happened? That is the question that will lag in people's mind, even as a judge, if they come before you. If it happened here in River State, then how many more places? Look, once an integrity of something, a data is compromised, no matter how little, then you have to go through all the process to make sure every other one too, you get it, have not been compromised. That's the simple what they are trying to say, and not be seen as, oh, we are supporting this side or supporting that side. As everybody have said, now this is a time for parallel facts to now step in and let us do some digging. Maybe we should get some people, let's pay them and let them like tabulate everything based on what we have for key states and publish it. Then we now go back to them to say, look, you did that one. And I believe they chose this same state and this same local government. When they saw the article from the last paper, I forgot their name, when they did their own, So because there's so much eyes in Obiako, even me as a single as a person, I had to go online and go and look at that local government, and I was surprised to see that the winning margin for other local governments in Rivers State is like 7-3, 7 for Obi, and I was like, so how did they say this guy won this place? That's me personally. So please let us all tamper and let's just see BBC. Look, whichever way it goes, whatever they've done is to our own advantage. As people have said, when they give us lemon, we should learn to make lemonade out of it, which is what this Yesan is just good at doing. He picked the article. He is now jumping on to say that, oh, because they say that is not enough to outturn the election. Yes, Rivers alone cannot outturn the totality of the election, but there are other states, and that is what we should amplify. That okay, we've certified Rivers, Benue, and this state, Lagos. This we should that. So that is it. So with every other one, then we have enough to outturn the totality of the election. God bless all of us. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, my bro. Thank you very much, my brother. I say, in fact, now you win the submission. Now you win all the submission. Any other submission, I don't understand. Thank you. Just say the truth. They are trying to. Journalism must be balanced. Must be balanced. That is what they are trying to do. But I say I will not talk on anybody's submission, but you're almost with me. When me Nigerian says with me, but make I no go the mission. Oh yeah, Mr. My chairman, Mr. Kenasa, you fell off. I don't fall off again.
Not only did I fall off, I even fell asleep, sir.
How this kind of conversation will make you sleep, sir? Are we that boring?
No, at all. I'm tired. But I'll keep my submission very, very short. Long time, Saddam. I hail Otumba, Joe Biden, to all of you. I hail. I just want to make a very quick submission. The last guy that spoke, Kolade, it was very, very apt. I couldn't put it better than that. I think, first of all, BBC doesn't owe you anything. That's just the truth. We need to understand that. If anything at all, a lot of these Western media, they've been funny over this election. So I think what has happened the last few days has been sort of like a tilting over from a position maybe they took initially. We have to check the timing. CNN, you look at what this guy did, Blinken, and then next thing, they dropped this one, right? The BBC. Now, people complain about what they said at the end. I saw that the parts that they wrote, I think they capitalized it and then underlined it saying that this would not have changed the results of the election. I think it was more like a disclaimer, right? At the end of the day, I've said my own, but this wouldn't have changed it so that I'm not accused of meddling in the affairs of a sovereign nation. I think that's why they put that there at the end. But if you look at what the BBC did, I mean, that was investigative journalism. Like you had said, it's expensive. And I haven't seen any Nigerian newspaper or media house that's delved that deep into what happened in Port Harcourt or Rivers State. So we have a sense of, oh, yes, it was rigged. But how? Where? But they gave you blow by blow. And you saw the zero-sum game that happened there, taking votes and adding here. It really opened the eyes of, I'm sure, of a lot of people. Now, I heard people argue that the world already knew. Yes, the world knows, but it's very different from somebody amplifying it. If somebody like the BBC takes a position and makes a statement, it's very different from even a Nigerian paper saying that. I mean, what BBC did was like saying to the world, this happened. Now, what I want to ask people is, if this story was written about PO and there was somebody did a number on PO, BBC or CNN, and they said, oh, they've investigated in Alimosho, blah, 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 PO rigged it, right, and showed evidence and showed the people involved. You can forget about anything to do with UPO coming to power anymore, completely, because they will milk it and milk it and milk it. So that's what that Koladi was saying. They've given you sample. Why do you? They're not going to come and tell you the story and tell you exactly how you want it. They are not obedient. They are not going to do that. They've given you what you need. You have to now take it and amplify it, and then make it happen for your people. That's what's supposed to happen with that story. They've given names. They've given, who knew about that guy that they talked about? There's so many angles to that story. You can talk about the fact that INEC employed somebody that they didn't know and then later on disclaimed and said, oh, we took the person at face value after 300 and something billion naira. Are you kidding me? That's a story right there. Right? You can talk about the arbitrary allocation of votes. There's so many things you can talk about there and milk that story. So I think we should take what we have and be happy that the BBC went as far as doing that, because they've been funny. I don't know what is happening, but as if over the last few days or week, or that there's been some sort of shift. You're seeing it from the way the West. Maybe they've taken a position. Who knows? So that's what I want to say about that. Let's not feel too entitled and feel they don't have to spoon feed you and give you everything on a platter. They've already given you sample. Somebody mentioned something about Trump earlier. I followed that election. All Trump was looking for was just one single state, county, whatever, where there was rigging. And then he was going to go to town and say the whole election was rigged. That's what he was looking for. He didn't find it. He made a brick wall everywhere. Now they've given you your own. Look at the rigging here. Take it and extrapolate. If they could rig here, they did it here, they did it there. That's all you need. So I think we're over. Even if they did it, even with some elaborate conspiracy theory, okay, we're here. Take what you have out of it and amplify your own part. I promise you, if they did this about PO, this whole movement would be over by now if it were the other way around. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. God bless you for this, sir. I'm just imagining how APC took Peter Obi was being searched. Peter Obi was called he went to immigration, called him and said that your passport, your identity is being you're being impersonated, and blew it up as Peter Obi was being deported, and have been running with that story and blowing it up. They will give us something that we should take and destroy. We're now come and focusing on these two. Did it done well? Did they use Tomapep? Did they use Roto? We now be focusing on when we have enough ammunition from them to run all through today, proving that Tinubu stole our elections. We have to find one paragraph or one phrase or one clause in the article. Obedient. It's well, though. Let me come to. Let's take a lady. Margaret, please. You have spoken before, but I'll give you a minute. 1 minute for you, 1 minute for Edmard Politics, 3 minutes for Adam. We'll shut down the space. Margaret, have the space, please. 1 minute.
Thank you, Saddam. I just the last speakers have already said most of what I wanted to, itemize, but just a comment about APC, the APC camp, the ruling party camp, or Keyamo, FFK, their tweets to just incite the polity. I just have a comment to make about it. I genuinely don't follow these people for anything. Even if you give them a strand, they are just going to milk it. They are desperate. They are going to pull on every connection they have. They're going to pull on any link. Even if they've helped you do one thing before, they're going to call you now. They're going to hold your wife ransom. They're going to put gun to your head. They're going to do anything at this point. So we can't listen to anything they say. They will be excited. Anything you give them now, they will try and make you lose hope in the fact that you have won a battle that you've been fighting for a very long time. These people don't care for us. So at this point, anything that we can get them on, we need to hold it to the end and collect back our mandate. I yield the mic. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. I would think what obedience would have been doing by now is calling out Vanguard, calling out of all the people that carry that local news. It's only Parallel Facts that took it. Which of your local newspapers carried that? Nobody carried it. It's us. We should be. There's some way, but not to helping your enemies to find loopholes in articles that we should be. By now should be on a national newspaper. The channel discuss about it today. Did Arise going to talk about it tomorrow? That's what we should be talking of. Not going to go and find, this cook food, they didn't serve it for me the way I wanted it. We can do better. But thank you, my sister. Thank you. I end bad politics, my brother. You have a minute, please.
Okay, I want to correct two things. The first thing is River State could change this election. And this is why I said that conclusion of the article was wrong. The total number of voters registered in River State is over 3 point something million. River State historically turns out close to 1.82 million votes in elections. So if BBC now is saying they did an investigative piece,
My brother,
they
you say
should have
River State
started
turned out how many votes?
1.82 million votes.
In which elections?
In past elections.
Example.
Goodluck Jonathan
This
won
is using
River State
numbers
with
here. Which
1.2
election?
million
Name one.
votes.
Name one of the elections.
Goodluck Jonathan won River State with 1.2 million votes.
Which of since Jonathan, since Wike got into power, Rivers has never got up to 1 million votes.
That is the voter suppression we're talking about.
So, but the way you came out now and say if someone is not
That
following
is
the
why
past
I'm
3
saying
elections,
that this is why I'm
bro,
saying
wait
that,
first,
right?
wait first. You know, say on this platform and facts and figures they do on this platform. If
I am
the
dealing with facts
the
now.
past 2 elections Rivers have conducted, the
Wait
past 2
now.
elections
I
Rivers
am
have
dealing
conducted,
with
what has been the
facts.
election results?
Wait, I am dealing with facts, right? BBC in their article faulted the result in River State. They are not supposed to now draw a conclusion based on the faulted results that they faulted in their article. You cannot say the results are tempered, some results are missing. Then, based on assumption, you now say it couldn't affect the final result. That is you assuming. Then, if you are saying that is factual, that is not factual. Because if you go by the number of registered voters in River State, they can upturn that election. As me and you here, we are talking, we don't even know the actual number. It could be 2 million. In this election, what a lot of people have been saying is that the turnout is more than what INEC registered. And that's what I'm saying. For us to carry that narrative that River State could not have changed the election, that is a wrong narrative. Because in that same article, they faulted the result, and in a faulted result already, you are drawing a conclusion. That is wrong. And this attitude of, oh, we have to be grateful and all of that. If Vanguard wrote a negative and a false narrative concerning England, British people will speak up and say what you are pushing is false. And that is why I said that article was not balanced. Because you cannot say
my
the
brother, you
result
say
on
if Vanguard write article about British as first, which British people speak up? For where? For where?
Wait
Where? For where?
I just told you now that based
Nigeria, we
on
see the
their
hype
facts,
When
ourselves,
could
man.
they do this when they do this, my brother?
based on their facts,
I beg.
See Vanguard.
let me round up with this, right? We are basing on their facts. You cannot say the results
No,
are
we're not.
faulted
They
and
said
then now
based on
draw a conclusion based on
their
faulted results.
conclusion is based on the data they got from IRF, which is what everybody has. They didn't
But
manufacture
based on
that
that
number.
IREV now, they
They
said
didn't
some
manufacture. So
results
they are
are
saying
missing.
based on
Wait
IRF.
now, on Tuba, based on IREV, they said some results are missing. So how did BBC now come to the final conclusion that what is missing will not be able to upturn the results?
Because based on what INEC uploaded,
You are saying
is
BBC now, they are saying what
17%.
INEC has said is tampered with. And you are still relying on INEC for your conclusion. You are accusing INEC, saying INEC did a shoddy job.
Who should we rely on?
Who should we rely on? I don't
And that is
understand.
why I'm saying they shouldn't have come to a conclusion. They should have left it open-ended by saying that the court will decide. You don't jump to a conclusion based on the process you're already faulting. Why is Peter Obi going to court?
Have you read their article on the
Peter Obi is
petition?
going to court because he's
Wait,
faulting the process.
have you read BBC's article on the petition, the election tribunal?
I have read the article. They faulted INEC by saying,
the election tribunal
Otumba,
one.
they faulted INEC by saying
Yes.
the process was faulty. Now, why are you now drawing a conclusion based
But it's
on a
based on
faulty
it. When you do a
process?
case study, do you draw a conclusion? Have you done case studies before?
Anyways, I've said my point, right? Conclusion based on that faulty process. The only way you will draw a conclusion based on the faulty process is if you have an initial agenda. What they gave to Nigerians is a poisoned chalice. You cannot say a process is faulty and you are drawing a categorical conclusion based on that faulty result. That is totally wrong. Because we don't know, nobody has the original result of River State.
I want to ask you a question, please. Somebody said I should ask a question. This article they released today, does it do harm to Peter Obi's candidature or not?
It does a whole lot of harm.
How?
Because now they have concluded on Rivers. And Rivers is our stronghold. Rivers can give Peter Obi 1.2 million in the South.
Please,
They are
how
not the
did they?
judge? How are they the judge that's going to
I'm
determine?
coming. I know. I want to understand how. Let's give him 5 minutes. Explain in 5 minutes, please. Please, let's use him around this.
Okay, let me tell you something, all right?
No, please, my brother.
Let me
Explain
tell
in
you
5
something.
minutes. Wait
Let me
now.
tell you
Wait.
something. Let me tell you how now.
I'm giving you time to talk now. Let me ask you a question before you talk now. But I want to give you so you can clear your mind. Please use 5 minutes and explain to us now how BBC article.
Okay, let me tell you how.
Harm Peter Obi.
Right? Yes, let me tell you how. Obedience have been shouting that, oh, River State election was rigged. What did Premium Times do? Premium Times released an article saying that, oh, fine, it was rigged, but it couldn't have affected your final result, so it's insignificant. BBC did the same thing. Oh, it couldn't have, yes, it was rigged, but it's insignificant. Which means now they've boxed you into a corner saying that you have 200,000 votes in River State. When in real actual fact, if Goodluck Jonathan can get 1 point something million votes in River State, Peter Obi can get 1 point something in Plateau. Peter Obi could have gotten 1.5, 1.6 in Rivers. But they've now boxed you into a corner, giving you 200,000 on an international platform. If they give you your real result and leave it open-ended, that can flip the election. They've created a narrative and you want to amplify that narrative by admitting that what you got in River State is 200,000. That is a poison chalice they've given to you. They shouldn't have come to that conclusion. My only issue with that article is coming to the conclusion that it is insignificant. It is not insignificant. Because the reason why Atiku was lobbying Wike, Rivers gives block votes in the South. Now they've taken your block vote from the South, and you are saying it's not going to affect your case. They've created a perception.
My brother,
that is
do
your
you
stronghold.
have the article with you there? Do you have access to it? Are you looking at it? Are you looking at it? If you're looking at, I want you to, if you can read the last part.
Apart from that, I want to ask you a question. I want
to round up. Can you read the last when it starts with?
No, but let me ask you a question before you read this. Let me ask you a question. Are you aware of the accredited data of IREF?
You what?
Are you aware of the accredited data on the IREF?
BBC is saying what IREF posted.
Answer this question, my brother. I'm not talking about BBC. I'm asking you a question now.
What IREF posted.
I say accredited. I did not say vote, my brother. Forget vote. Accredited data on the IREF.
How can the number of people accredited in River State?
How many people accredited in River State now? Not vote.
How can you trust the accredited data on IREF and you are contesting the result on IREF? You have to choose one. You either cancel everything on IREF and say whatever that is coming out from IREF is false. You can't pick one and
my
say,
brother,
okay,
accredited.
Sorry, Ember politics. Saddam and Otumba. I think, truly be told, we need to listen to what Ember politics. Do you know this argument that Rivers that we are talking about is actually what APC will say in court. I think we don't know how the Nigerian Petition Tribunal works. The burden of proof is on the petitioner.
Thank you.
I think what Mbad Politics is just saying, and it's what I said in my submission, we can cherry pick, we can be excited that this story proves that there was manipulation, but we cannot adopt it hook, line, and sinker. I said this thing earlier today. There are still many ballot paper that are inside the gutter. There are many ballot paper inside the bush. There are people that were deceived result sheets in the bush.
I'm confused. When we went to the court with our petition, did we take? Is it BBC's article that is
Sorry,
our
that's what I was
petition?
just about to say.
Because
I want to know.
that's why I'm confused.
Is it BBC article you took to?
That's why I'm confused.
So hold on.
You guys
No, let me ask you a question. So if I believe this story,
wait, let me
how
explain
does this
something to you.
story
Let me
affect?
explain something to you.
Wait, how does this story affect the what we
Wait
have
now,
in
Otumba, you
tribunal?
asked me the question about the courts. Let me explain the courts to you, right? You keep giving the courts so much trust.
But nobody trusts the court. That's why people don't understand.
Now, if you do not trust the court, listen now, listen. If you do not trust the courts, APC is already creating a narrative that the court can rest on. If you now say you don't trust the courts, APC is already creating a narrative that the court can rest on.
I'm coming first. Otumba, please, because Otumba, let me ask you one question. Otumba, please, I want because right now my head don't confuse. Otumba, because you see that's why I don't like conspiracy theories. Please, when in Nigeria, is you out ask question now, please. Out ask question now. When you accredit people, what happens to the data of accreditation?
When you accredit people like on election day,
yes.
I mean, it's supposed to go to a server.
It's supposed to, or it goes to the server, not it's supposed to. Let's speak, don't do supposed to.
No. I mean, it goes to the server, yeah.
It goes to the server, right?
Yeah.
So there's accredited numbers of voters.
Yes.
Thank you. That's just what I wanted to end it. So whatever you're saying right now is that from that accredited number, let's say the whole 1 million, let's say in Rivers State now, and the accredited voters is 1 million. Vote cannot pass 1 million, Abi?
Yes, of course, it can't. It shouldn't pass more 1 million.
It shouldn't. If it passes 1 million, that is overvoting, right?
Yeah, it depends on the polling unit, yes.
I mean, in the state now, I'm using the state now. If it passes 1 million, it is overvoting, Abi?
Yes, there will be overvoting in some polling units, but it will not cancel those states.
And accredited voters, they don't reach that one because it goes straight, because it is before voting, Abi?
As in accredited voters, yes, before voting, that's when they do accreditation.
Can you read accreditation? I want to know, because right now, where are the kind of go? I don't understand. Can they read accredit now? She from accreditation straight to server.
Yes.
So that means all the accredited voters is the amount of. I'm going to bring out, because I don't want this conspiracy theory. I want us to go somewhere now. So if all the voters are accredited in Rivers State, that number, vote cannot pass that number.
No, it cannot be more than that number, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm saying this now because what NBAR is coming out to say is that they registered 3 million, Rivers have 3 million votes. So number, Jonathan got so number. I want to go and find out how many voters were accredited in Rivers State that day, presidential elections. That's what I have that data. I'll find
I want to read the article. See, this article ends.
I'll bring the data. I have that data, so I'll find. Let me find out people.
Saddam, you know what?
Saddam, you are relying on accredited voters. Do you know what INEC did? INEC did not rig up. INEC rigged down. They suppressed the votes.
My brother, all this one you're speaking is English.
It's two separate conversations.
Even if you bring accredited voters on 1 million, right?
Then what happened?
Rigged down. Because me and you,
we know that they suppress vote now. But what are you saying now? What? See, NBAR politics. Your argument has no head or no tail. I'm sorry to say this, because when you're arguing right now, are you saying that the election did not hold, everything's cancelled? There was suppression, yes, we know, but definitely data will be used. Data will be used. Are you acting like that? Are you saying right now that because there was suppression in Lagos State, Peter Obi that got close to 1 million votes in Lagos, they should cancel it, that it don't happen? Data will be used.
If you
People,
bring the
people accredited
accreditation,
in
wait, if you
Anambra
bring
State,
accreditation data,
Anambra
listen
State
now,
that gives Peter up to.
listen,
I'm coming first. Wait, first. Let me
you are
you listen.
arguing.
My brother, listen
Listen,
first. Anambra State gives Peter Obi up to 1 million. Gave APC PDP up to 1 million votes. How many votes they give Peter Obi this recent time? There was suppression. We all knew that. Nobody's going to come back and say there's no suppression. So they say we cancel the elections because of suppression in Anambra. Did any Eastern State give Peter Obi 1 million votes? Did any Eastern State give Peter Obi 1 million votes? None.
They gave Jonathan. Some of them
But
get
they
close
gave
to that
Jonathan.
So
So
yeah,
what I'm
like
saying.
it's apples and oranges. We are talking
So
about
please, let's stop doing this thing we're doing. I'll be bringing confusion to people's head. Please. River State was there rigging River State? Yes.
okay,
Was
so
there suppression in River State? Yes.
I want to ask you this question. You talk about accredited voters and the data. So please, what if INEC suppress vote? So what is now the advantage of you bringing the number of accredited voters? How does that
Because that is a
benefit
number
us?
that is a number that
But that's
stands
the one you
for
go off.
people
That's
Is
that
the
that the
voted.
number that
number.
must vote?
It's not by the number that must vote. Bro,
Wait,
this will not be confusing.
wait.
People
Let,
that
I
let
are
me
beg
try
you,
to
please,
kill this
accredited,
guys.
conversation.
INEC can tell you that people that are
Ember
accredited got
politics,
to
wait.
fully vote, or they had invalid votes.
Ember politics, wait. I said, when I came to make my submission, I said something. I said everybody was right. And I think the problem usually is most of the time, one person wants to be righter than the other righter person. So like I said earlier, the truth is, this whole BBC piece is an advantage overall in the sense of it brings some traction internationally into the entire process, into this thing that is going on. But like I also said in that submission, we need to learn to cherry pick. Generally, BBC's article, what it portrays, first of all, is that there was irregularities in the election. Then it went further to give figures that portray that irregularities. What Ember Politics is saying, what like a lot of people that have spoken is saying is that, yes, let's adopt it and know that and push it from the perspective of, this is just irregularity. Or if it's happening in one place, it means it's happening somewhere else. What Ember Politics is also saying, or the other set of people, is that while we are doing that, let's also clarify that these numbers and this thing that narrative that they're trying to create, because like I said just now, in court, it is the petitioner's position do you know by BBC's article in court, Peter Obi doesn't win the election by BBC's article, but in court, it is the petitioner's it's the petitioner's onus to determine or to prove his case. So what we need to do is amplify this from a perspective of it shows it is a proof of irregularity, but not to adopt it hook, line, sinker. I think the way Ember Politics is going about it is why it's making it look as if is emphasizing on the other side, and everybody feel like, it's saying, let's not take it. If Ember Politics is saying that, that whole article is rubbish on that, I too I will not agree with it.
I want to ask.
I never said all is rubbish. What I
Wait,
said is
I
the
want to ask you. So,
conclusion.
what's your advice? What should we do now? What should we do? What do you think is the next step? What should we do? What's the solution?
What I have done, right, and what a lot of obedience have done, is to push back on that conclusion that it is insignificant. It is just 200,000 votes. When me and you know that the number of votes we got in Rivers State is more than 200,000. So why are we now going to accept that concluding part to say,
so can you read the verbatim concluding part exactly what I can read it for you. Can you read what? Can I read what they said?
Okay, read it. Yeah, read the concluding
So
part.
BBC goes.
Yeah.
Okay, it goes from this is just one case. This is just one case in one state in southern Nigeria where the evidence points to the result having been manipulated. Okay, on their own.
Otumba, please read that in again.
This is just one case in one state in southern Nigeria where the evidence points to the results having been manipulated. Then it goes further.
Please, Otumba, wait. Read that first line again.
This is just one case in one state in southern Nigeria where the evidence points to the results having been manipulated.
This alone, just stop. This alone, from here, this word, this sentence alone.
That's only damning
so
part.
how did they now proceed from here to a conclusion?
Let me finish. So this is the conclusion everybody's gone stuck on. On their own, do you know? Should I explain what on their own means? Based on this, these altered results would not have decisively sway the outcome
How
of the
are
vote.
you sure? How can you be so
Is
categorical?
it you don't understand the meaning
Anybody
of,
politics, he said, I don't talk to be a
is it
politics.
that you don't understand the meaning of on
I
their
beg,
own?
I
Do I
beg.
have to explain the meaning of
Nah.
the
You're
phrase
supposed
on
to
their
give
own?
argument and you're supposed to go
Do
by
you,
catfish with big stout. Now when you go with big stout and they drink, they do this kind of, I beg. You don't do, I beg, go any space, I beg you, God, I beg.
no, I think maybe I should explain the meaning of on their own. Basically, when I say on their own, should I explain what the meaning on their own means? Because that's where I don't know, people are leaving that preface. They're
See,
leaving,
and I'm telling you that Rivers.
telling me what I'm reading the exact English language they use without nothing else. They are saying based on this, without nothing else. This, I mean, I don't how do I explain it? Based
And
on
I'm
the question.
standing on that on the own, River State on its own,
You see what the
okay,
person talk?
can
Person
offer the result.
say, now why they say we the right IELTS with this? Make me stop this thing. I beg, stop this thing, please. Stop it, please. Stop it. I beg. We'll just leave it like this, please. Nobody win, nobody lose. You what you take out of it, take out of it. I beg. Let Adamu come in and let Adamu give his submission. I beg. Make we end this place. If not, go there till next tomorrow now. We're supposed to wake up early. They give update on our court procedures. Please, what time is our court case safe?
I think it's 9 a.m. or something.
9 a.m. I better go. Adamu, please. You see, Adamu, and my politics, please don't do this the next time again. You don't come now, you don't come carry us. You don't carry us, go. Don't talk like 30 minutes. Well, you just you just explain what I don't know.
Please, the
Please,
English major, I've put the end conclusive
please.
part of the. Please come and help me translate. Or maybe I don't understand the meaning of phrases again, or like maybe someone should help me interpret
Adamu,
this.
continue, please.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, my brother.
Hello?
Continue.
Okay, good. For me, the BBC article, right, actually points to the fact that in any news you read online, or in any news that a media house shone out, you actually take the one that suits your narrative and you run with it. Wetin concern us for that article be say fraud happen for Rivers, and e happen. BBC don talk am say fraud happen for Rivers. That one favour us, we go run with am. Say at the concluding part, they said the fraud, the votes, if properly tallied, cannot affect the election. That one no concern us. The onus is on the Labour Party and Peter Obi to prove that in court. And the matter is already in the court. So it will be judicial for us actually comment on that. Then, aside this writing of results, mitigation of election results, most especially in South-South, there are quite a whole lot of things other people are not talking about this election, because I was on ground in my home state, Edo State, during the presidential election. INEC strategically connived, they colluded with the APC to ensure that Peter Obi's strongholds, especially in the South-South, in the Southeast, and in Abuja. I'm saying this with fact and evidence that election commenced after 10, in some places 11 o'clock in the morning, while in APC stronghold, election commenced as early as 8 o'clock. These are gimmicks to actually ring the election.
Suppress it.
Yes. Oh yes. In Abuja, actually I didn't vote. I didn't vote here in Abuja because I traveled home. My friends in polling units here, I think APC got about 700 votes here in my polling in my area in Abuja. But on that day of election, let me shock you guys. People slept. People voted midnight. The report my friend gave me was that the people that actually came out to vote were close to about 2,000 in the polling unit. But INEC did not come on time. When they eventually came for the election, they were kind of, where do we set up? Where do we? They started at least 4 hours after. Voting commenced at about 3 p.m. when election we're already rounding up in other places. So these are some of the things we should equally look at. Then if you say you want Nigerian news media organizations to actually go as detailed as BBC to give you detailed information about this fraud, you'll be shocked. They wouldn't. They do yellow journalism. They just sit down. They see investigative journalism in Nigeria. It's a no-go for Nigerian news media because I've had a little experience with them. They wouldn't do that, but you will be surprised that they would see. Even as BBC has done a little bit of investigative journalism for them, they will not even still jump at the story. Check their newspaper headlines tomorrow now. It will be another different thing. Now, even in states where Peter Obi
I beg. In 30 seconds, please.
Yes, please. Let me just round up. Even in states where Peter Obi won, right? The actual vote on IREV, sorry, the accredited voters on IREV, when they just look at IREV, okay, 1 million were accredited, allocate votes, and they send. If not for this IREV accredited voter stuff, I'm telling you, they would have told us that Kano gave so candidate 5 million votes, Rivers gave 3 million votes, and all of that. And let me tell you another isolated case the media is not talking about a lot. Look at Bauchi State. Reports on ground and on IREV states that Peter Obi got close to about 30% of votes in Bauchi. In Bauchi local government, Peter Obi won Bauchi local government and is the biggest local government in Bauchi. About 30% of the voters in Bauchi, they are in Bauchi local government, which is the state capital. Peter Obi won there. In a particular polling unit, Peter Obi got, where my cousin voted, Peter Obi got more than the total number of votes that was given to him in the local government, according to the results INEC declared. Just imagine, in one polling unit, I'm not saying I'm working according to what I read online. My cousin stays and lives in Bauchi. He can still provide the results on the election day. But the INEC declared, that polling unit result alone is more than the entire vote of Labour Party alone. It's more than the entire vote of the local government. So it's not only in Rivers that they ringed Labour Party out. Let's beam our searchlight on other areas. The fraud in this election is huge. So we can actually do more by bringing it out for Nigerian conventional media who are lazy, who don't want to do the work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Adamo, please reach out to her because let him bring that result. I think we can get an article out of that and just focus on Bauchi. But let me just read this. I just want to highlight this one more time. This is just one case in one state in southern Nigeria where the evidence points to the results having been manipulated. That statement alone is our job right now. BBC have done their own bit. Our job is to amplify the fact that Bola Ahmed Tinubu stole these elections from us. You see someone have come out to talk about Bauchi State. Probably you have evidence in your own local government. You have checked your IREV, your results not tally. Write a piece on it. Bring it out for us. I wake up tomorrow morning after our tribunal. I was asking all the media organizations, did you talk about BBC report yesterday? I don't expect them to talk about it, but I think that's where some people should also focus on. Why will such a big news come out and local organization, local listening are not carrying it? They're not jumping on the story to amplify it. But guys, we have had a very long conversation. Honestly, Otumba, I don't know. I think I should just end this piece. There's no final vote of thanks, guys. Tomorrow is today.
Oh, Salam, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You want to say something?
I just wanted to say, I think these conversations are good, even though even though it looks contentious, but I feel like it's part of the. This is why I love the obedient movement, where we all don't sleep and face the same direction. We have varying opinions, but one thing I just want us to make sure is I don't want us to just go down rabbit holes and live in a world of paranoia. It doesn't do us any. It does us disservice. We can still question everything, but it's like the hammer approach where we don't take a hammer to everything. We just because something doesn't we don't agree with everything someone wrote, and then the next thing is to take a hammer to that and just smash and smash and smash. And I get it. We were forged in, this movement was sort of forged out of, oppression and, we don't trust the government and things like that. But taking a hammer to every story without even looking at it, okay, how can we flip this? How can we? I usually bring up Trump a lot. I'm not a Trump fan, but there's something I love about that guy where when the news comes to him, no matter how negative it is, that dude finds a way to flip it. He will flip it on his head for you. Like he will just go like, no, this is what I want you to talk about. So I think it's important we sort of learn to, and someone I think what I've learned also is to, because I see things from that angle. I do. But I just want to let's find a way to cherry pick things to favor us. Not We can't just focus on the part that does it, because that's what APC does, and APC does it well. APC will look at your story, and APC will ignore everything that condemns them. That half life you give APC. They will build. Someone said it, APC will now build a full-on. I think Manabala said they will build on full-on propaganda with it. So, in a story where 80% of it favors us, and we're stuck on the one line that's contentious, and it depends on subject to your interpretation. We need to find a way to flip it. To me, this story is like, yeah, you guys manipulated in just one state. So we need to look at every other state. Let's push that narrative instead of just trying to say, oh man, screw them. And again, even if we disagree, I just don't like where we're quick to label people. Oh, these people are con media. Like it's just kind of like, wait a minute, because when they now do a story that completely favors us, we've already shot ourselves in the foot and labeled BBC a mouthpiece of propaganda for the APC government. Then when they get a story that actually favors us, we'll be like, okay, well, how then do we target? This is not it. If it was Nigerian media, I wouldn't give two flying Fs. But please, we can ask questions, we can quote, we can, challenge, but rather than just take a hammer and smash it and say, oh, this is because one part of it doesn't favor us, oh, the entire story is rubbish, is where I'm like, I think that's my biggest problem. Like, I don't want to go there. But thank you, everyone. Salam, thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's been a very, very long day, almost. I did not. You are the video no vex. So I know we're not supposed to pass 6 hours. You see, I would not go there like 9 hours. Sorry, guys. Thank you so much, everyone that have been on the platform today, sharing this space with us. Thank you so much. It's one of those conversations that we must always have, And as I always say, in conversations like this, there are no winners, there are no losers. We just come here to learn. I came into this platform thinking that BBC did us 2.0, and I left here defending the article. You see, so that may have learned something from it. I came in, with a different angle, and I'm living here with a different angle. So I think we can all, and we are not. That's why I always say this: we are the headless mob. Yes, and I own that narrative with my chest. Yes, and I own that narrative with my chest. We are the headless mob. No, but we don't get head. To not forget, choke the club. Go all out today. Reach out to your friends, families, get everybody out there. Let everybody come out to show solidarity. Of our mandate, let the courts be so filled up that when they come in there, they understand that the obedient spirit is here. We are here to save our country. That's the most important thing. How we get there, I say this all the time. If you want to go to Lagos, you can go to Lagos through night bus, some go through morning bus, some use flight, some use train. There's so many routes to get into Aso Rock. And everybody in the obedient movement are taking their own routes. Do what you can do. If your own is to retweet, retweet. If your own is to like. If your own is to tweet, tweet. If your own is to attack. If your own is to calm down. If your own is to pray. If your own is to fast. Whatever. If your own is to finance. Whatever you're doing, please do not stop. Do not give up. Keep doing it. We should not forget that what we are fighting is an easy journey. It's a very difficult one for us. We are going somewhere that will take us. We are trying to take power from an establishment that is deeply rooted in corruption, a system that they have set for decades, that they never envisage a movement like us coming up. So please let us be mindful of the fact that what we have done is incredible. We won an elections, and we are going to court to prove we won an elections. All the facts and data are out there for us, and they are supporting our claims. Please, guys, thank you so much. Keep following the parallel facts. Keep supporting the parallel facts. You see, it's not easy when we come up here and we say, do this, please. You know, even easy for people to go tweet or to like or to retweet. You say, no, even easy to now. Let's say retweet is like the hard for you. Then now imagine people that go and do the hard work. You know, easy for everybody. Please, whenever you want to say something, put yourself in the next person's shoes. It's very, very important. We don't lose our humanity while we are pursuing what we're looking for. God bless you all, my brother Otumba. Thank you so much. N6 was falling on and off. I think he's in listeners. Thank you, Joe Evident. Jimmy, thank you, my brother. Endbad politics. What endbad politics? We suppose day one joint where we're going to drink big stout with catfish. Because this way you do like this time, I say, you don't collect all the food for my belly. You guys to call me when we dig joint, when we get this argument. Because I like argument too. Look, ask me when I feel argue for 17 hours. I never talk, but if it's big stout and catfish, we're gonna know.
Salam, you need to gist them. I don't think they know me and you argue a lot.
They don't know our
They don't know.
They don't know. Me and Otumba can spend hours, we'll be arguing these different views, But that's the benefit of the whole stuff, that we argue this and I learn from him, he learns from me, and we just keep going and we keep improving ourselves as brothers and sisters in this platform. Thank you, Mr. Kinla. Margaret, thank you. Guys, if you did not get up to speak, no vex, please. I can't bring Olatunde. I promise you came late. You always come to this church late. So I'm sorry I can't bring you up to speak, my brother. But I promise you, if you come on Thursday, please come early and you will speak. Ajibusu, my brother, thank you to the Vawulence team. God bless the Parallel Facts team. God bless everyone that is volunteering for the Parallel Facts movement. God bless that media organization. You guys are amazing. Guys, please give those guys kudos. Support the Parallel Facts. Amazing Nigerians from all walks of life across the world coming together to put in something that we can change the media narrative. I say this all the time. If you don't tell your story, SARS were crying now. BBC. In a Parallel Facts, right? That story now, we're not going to argue this thing because we'll give it to you as you want it. You see that it is the power. He who tells the story shapes the narrative. Let us be mindful of that, looking into the future. So it is important when we say follow the Parallel Facts, invest in the Parallel Facts, understand why we're saying this, because it is important we start shaping our narratives so that one day we can stand up and say, yes, we are challenging all these media houses because we have everything on ground to do that. So thank you guys to all of you following, retweeting, liking, putting on your notification up for this, our young baby. We are close to 10,000 followers. Thank you so much. I see all of you. God bless you all. My brother Ajibu. Darren, thank you so much. Anka Dede, thank you, my brother. Well, Nigeria. Ken Pella, hey, see our gubernatorial aspirant of Delta State to Delta.
Salam, I just wanted to say something that Yoruba should know, because Yoruba came from
Colorado. I beg, give me a picture. Make we have to campaign. I beg, Colorado. Hey, Colos. And I will think book on the self for Nigeria. Colos, Colorado. We'll discuss that on Thursday. Therein, my sister, thank you. LV the God, my brother, thank you. Donkey, go and sleep now. Go and sleep, please. Thank you. Kolade, I see you. Thank you. Nze Clarita, thank you so much. Lady G, Vinoski, Spotlight, thank you for bringing another spot to the light today on the platform. Thank you so much, my sister Chiki. Thank you, Bolale. Mama Wakiri, thank you. I know you're using your Bona account. Thank you, Madonna, Sweet Angel, Bill Rookie, Cindy Gold, Ayomi Day, Gladys, IJ, Dr. Lou, Tech Mayor, Evangelist, Ada. two others, you know yourselves. Oluwadamilari, Estate, thank you. Shrubs, my brother, AG came in. Thank you, Urias, Amoda, Prince, Rookie, Tosin, Antonia, Tony, Pedro, Derek, that tip chick, Skipper. Oh, God bless you all, guys. I can't call all the names. No, I know there's Lady Etsy. God bless you. Thank you so much, every one of you. It is always a pleasure having you guys on the platform.
Saddam, not forget our radio and YouTube people.
God bless all of you listening from the radio station. God bless you guys. I know you guys are on the platform, so I can't see your faces. Thank you guys listening on the radio. Thank you guys on YouTube, streaming from the YouTube channel. Mary White in absentia. I know you here. You listen to this tomorrow. Thank you, Uzizi. Thank you so